welcome back to another brand new episode of the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast. I'm here with the boys, Jimbo, Coach Mike, and Todd. Jimbo, we got a special guest.
Hey, get that Flocka horn out there.
Horn.
Yeah, we do have a special guest.
Very special guest.
Yep. He's been on before.
He has been on.
One of our favorites.
One of our favorite. What is this, your third time now?
Time number 3.
Oh, and that is the voice of McNaughty.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Tuning in.
Good morning. Hello.
The leader of the NRL League.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
The creator, the founder.
Yes.
The founder of the NRL. Yes, that is true. Yes, and don't forget the DGDR podcast is a sponsor of the NRL League.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
And proud to be a part of this.
Thank you for inviting us to.
Guys.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us to do that.
Yes.
Of course. When we were beginning the planning of season 6, I was looking to bring in more sponsors, more fans of the community, and I was thinking of like who can I reach out to, who's within the community in this space, heavily involved in this space, and would make a good partner. And you guys were the first thought. Let me get in.
Oh,
the DGDR podcast. I've been listening to you guys for years now.
Hell yeah.
Also, by the way, let me not forget to congratulate you on 3 years of success, and to 30 more at least.
I hope so.
Todd will be 90 by then, so
I'll be officially 55 then. I'll officially be 55 years old then.
You'll match your handle.
Yeah.
Almost there.
A couple years for retirement. Yeah.
Right? No
Probably
shit.
PTA comes out.
oh man.
Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
so
yeah, thank you.
It's great. How has it been running a league? Well, first of all, how long ago did you start the league, and did you expect the success that you've been getting?
Yeah, so I started NRL 3 years ago about, and I had no expectations. I was like, you know what, let me just try this out because the reason why I created this league is because I was in a different league and I hated how it went, and I hated the representation that it did not give its drivers. So I was like, let me create something that I think is different and would do all the things that I would want from a league. So we started it 3 years ago. What was the other question? I already lost track of the second part of the question. Sorry, guys.
The success of it.
Did you expect this kind of success?
Yeah. I did not. I thought it might be like a one-time or a two-time thing, and I threw it together, and my rudimentary graphics making skills, and the racing was fun. The presentation was like grade schooler level, and even with that, I was able to pull in some hosts and some stewards, and it really took off. Season 2, the amount of drivers like doubled, and it grew way, way, way faster than I could have ever hoped or dreamed. And I'm happy that some of the people that we had in the beginning, like you guys talked to Slow Mo last week, He, Tune, and T-Case have been here from the beginning, and we've been able to grow the team. Now we're racing on 2 days at 2 different times with 2 divisions. So it's crazy. It's crazy to see this growth, and hopefully we can keep pushing league racing in Gran Turismo 7 forward.
Yeah. Well, you sort of have to, because if the analytics are correct for this next week, you got to have league racing for at least interesting races.
Yeah,
because I mean, I would say the last few weeks have been great in Gran Turismo, but man, league racing is really where it has to be, especially when it comes to the cleanliness of driving.
Mm-hmm. Good, clean competition.
Yeah. Good, clean competition is difficult to find in lobbies. Especially if you're going in for, your daily races.
Yeah,
Daily
it
Plus
seems
races
having
like
full
are
damage.
yeah until
Yeah,
they
and-
figure that out, which I don't think they care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, even though the races are good, you still, every other race it seems like, run into individuals who, just don't care. So it's like,
Yeah.
if Polyphony Digital is not going to do it themselves, an alternative is to just do it yourself. So, for example, like NRL has heavy damage on every race, heavy damage, no ghosting. So it's like
Love
closest
it.
to real things,
Good.
right?
Yeah,
So like,
exactly.
if you crash, that's it. So like,
Yeah, it's on
it really
you.
forces you to be clean. And then we have independent stewards. So like I have a steward team where some of the communities that are racing in the league, they'll send one representative to be a steward, right? And that steward team, independently of me, they review all the incidents and come to a ruling. And so that way, there's like no bias with like me. I'm not a part of any race team, but like I'm friends with like a lot of teams, like PDX for example. And I don't want to give off any
PhD.
impression of like bias
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
league,
Makes sense.
So,
Oh, you're
so
doing
yeah,
that.
we take those elements that we don't get in daily races, and we try to bring it into our own community league.
Yeah.
Are you the only one creating each race, or do you have a couple guys like TK's helping you come up with these races with whether it's certain cars and the length and fuel and tire wear and everything, or is it all you?
So mostly it's me coming up with those combinations. I have brought in testers in previous seasons. Season 5, I wasn't able to get that help. Season 4, however, I had Flawed Genius Gaming, who's the play-by-play commentator for Saturdays. He helped me out a lot, and actually Simon, who's going to the World Tour, he helped me, optimize a lot of those races in season 4. So I learned from that experience, and he obviously became busy because he was training to participate in the online qualifiers for this year. So I wasn't able to get his help for season 5, which was earlier in 2025. But I took the lessons that I learned from them in terms of optimizing it so that way there are multiple viable strategies and whatnot. And I've applied that to season 5 and now season 6. So if whenever they're available to help out, I'd gladly take their assistance. But for season 6, it's primarily just me. Optimizing the combos. The tracks, the cars, I select that ahead of time, but, the lap count, the tire wear, the fuel wear, the refueling speed, what tires are mandatory, that's the fine tuning that those guys were able to help me do in seasons past.
Cool.
Now, what makes your league independent and different from other leagues that are out there that other people might be racing in right now? What would make how do I put this?
What makes NRL different? What makes it stand out?
What makes it stand out? Exactly. Thank you.
I'm so happy you asked that question. So it stands out in a couple ways. A lot of the leagues that you see, and let me preface everything that I say here with that there's no problem with the way that other leagues work. Each league is unique in that it offers something that a particular person in the community may or may want, right? So, for example, you see a lot of endurance racing leagues, right? You see a lot of Group 3 specific leagues. You see Group 4 specific leagues, super formula leagues, and things of that nature. NRL is different in that there is no set category of car, right? So it's not a road car championship. It's not a Group 3 championship. It's not a F1500A championship. It is
everything.
It is everything, right? So any car that is in Brand Central is eligible to be used in NRL. And also what's unique about it is that week to week, it differs, right? So you could be in pre-qualifying using a particular type of car, and then round 1, you're in another car, round 2, you're in another car, round 3, you're in another car, and the final, you're in a different car at a different track with different weather conditions. And you don't always know what you're going to get. In fact, you never know what you're going to get ahead of time. Ooh. So when round 1 ends, for example, at the end of that broadcast, everybody who's racing on that day will find out what their round 2 combo is, and you have exactly a week or exactly until the next round to prepare strategy, learning how to drive that car, dealing with that drivetrain, dealing with the gear shifting and all that stuff, and optimizing that car, dealing with weather conditions if it's a race that's going to have weather. So that way everybody's on the same playing field. So it's not a championship to see who's the best at driving with Group 3, right? Which a lot of leagues are like that. It is the person who's able to adapt to different testing conditions the best. And then from the community aspect, right? A lot of leagues, they welcome people in, and they thank their drivers and all that kind of stuff, right? But this league tries to put an active emphasis on promoting that person within the community. So what I mean is, like, say a streamer decides that they want to be in NRL, they can join NRL with the assurance that there's a positive aspect for them in addition to, like, winning, right? You can get exposure, right? Leverage my channel's reach to increase your channel's reach, right? So we like to do things like picture-in-picture, put up the driver's stream as they're racing, get their socials out there, really talk about what they've got going on while the race is going on. So that way, let's say, Todd is driving here. Oh yeah, you can go find him, TVR 55 at YouTube. You can go click his link right now. You can go see what he's doing, right? So I know a lot of communities that have been built on the back of NRL, literally. So there's that aspect as well for community. And then this is a sponsored league, right? So we have, I'm gracious. I'm thankful for the sponsors that we have, including the DGDR podcast, right?
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah. And, we also take entry fees. So you're really driving for something on the line other than just pride, right? Like, you win this competition, you're winning money. Like, in terms of league racing in Gran Turismo 7, it's a substantial amount. So, I take none of it, right? So money from the sponsors, money from the entry, anything that gets donated over the course of an NRL stream, it goes right into the pot. The drivers get the bulk majority of it, and I pay the staff. And, for me, I don't need anything, right? Like, people tune in to watch, that's good enough for me. So from those aspects, I don't think that there's a single league in Gran Turismo 7 that I've ever seen that does what NRL does.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
I agree.
Well,
I haven't seen.
Like,
that's awesome. Now, I lost my question. I got a lot on my mind right now, so.
Sorry, I ran on too long with that answer.
No. It's perfect.
Do you find like the caliber of driving with your league better due to, say, having to pay to play as opposed to free entry?
Yes, I do, and I see higher standards of driving. I see improvement in driving. So people who join the league, they come in at a certain level, and then they elevate their driving in the league as well as outside of the league, right? So many people have come to me and said that they've become a better driver overall by participating. Yeah, and we'll have practices going and whatnot, and people will, like, lean on each other to learn things here and there. And then so sorry, I lost my train of thought again. So people come into the league, they improve, the standards of driving are higher, and then the caliber of drivers that you see enter the league from the beginning till now, it's incredible. Like we had Hawko, who was our season 1 champ. He was in there. Mullet went back to back seasons 2 and 3, and then Wid came in seasons 4 and 5, and he went back to back. And some of the competition in these seasons, like you would go into the race, you had no idea because it was so stacked. It was such a stacked lobby in Division A that the skill ceiling it's so high.
It is.
I can imagine.
It's like I guess with like you pay, so you want to be, you obviously don't want to lose your money.
Yeah.
So you got to, and then settings with like heavy damage, no ghosting, but also I guess attribute to increasing people's skill outside of the league as well, because once you learn how to drive, and we all know this, like without smashing into people and being very wary of that, you actually become a better driver overall. You become faster, you become smoother, you know what I mean? It's just, so I think that probably also is a great thing too. Because a few times in leagues and there's little light or no damage, ghosting, so there's no really repercussions for driving. So people's standards can be good standards, but you don't have to be super good. You know what I mean? And that way you can make mistakes without being costly.
Right. And I will say, because, there have been times in the past where people have expressed some hesitancy to joining because there is a fee to join, right? It's not high enough that it's like going to break the bank in most cases, right? It's $10. And if there's only 56 spots, right? So we have 2 divisions on 2 days, right? Each consisting of 14 drivers. So 56 spots total. And if you pre-qualify and you don't qualify for the league, you'll get your $10 back, right? So your $10 is at risk only if you make it past pre-qualifying. And then you'll be fighting to, make that final. And everybody who makes the final, which is exactly half of the field, right? There's a Division A final and a Division B final. Everyone who makes that final will at least get their money back. And then the higher you finish up, the more money you get.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, what positions pay out? Is it 1 through 3?
Yeah, so it's I actually have it right in front of me. So it's entirely dependent on how much money the league raises, but a good figure to look at. So regardless, if you finish from 8th to 14th in Division A, or from 6th to 14th in Division B in that final, right? In that one race, you'll get $10. And then everything above that, right, is broken down into percentages. So in Division B, 5th place will get 2% of the remaining amount of money allocated to the drivers, right? And then it'll go up 3, 4, 6, and 8, right? And then on the Division A side, it'll be 4, working its way up to 20%. So last season, Wid, who won the league, he got I think about $130 US. And that's entirely just from the sponsors that we had last season, which are fewer than this season, and then the money that was brought in from the broadcast, ad revenue, donations, all of that kind of stuff, and we were able to raise just under $1,300.
Wow.
For paying out the drivers and the supporting staff.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's a good chunk of change.
Right.
Yeah, and it does make those people who have invested realize that they're trying to make money and being stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, too,
loses you money.
A lot of leagues, people come in and by half of the season, a majority of them leave and they're gone.
They're gone.
That's what I was going to ask. Is like your attendance wise.
Yeah, it's got to be
because
amazing.
people are actually paying. I guess your lobbies aren't an issue to fill because people are paying.
Right, and that's not to say that we haven't had our own issues in the past at NRL. Like we've had people miss a race, miss two races. You know, sometimes for like legitimate reasons they have like
scheduling conflict.
Scheduling conflict, right? You know, but there have been people who like sign up, they pay the money, and they don't show up, and you know that to me is like unwise. But you know, people have their lives, right? So people are allowed to, you know, do what they want to do, right? They can pay to be in the league and then just not show up, and you know, my feelings aren't going to be hurt by it, but I just wonder why in those cases, right? Especially because you pay and then you pre-qualify, right? So somebody else is left on the outside who wanted to be in, and then you got in, and then decided, well, I'm not racing anymore. And that other person could have been in.
Do you bring that
person
up?
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you have a substitute list? Like, so if somebody asked to jump out, you can throw another driver that's willing to and already kind of was just on the cusp of qualifying, kind of thing.
Once the season starts, we do not do that. You know, if somebody participates in round 1 and round 2, right, and then they decide, all right, I'm going to drop out, and then somebody else comes in, you know, it's very much a disadvantage for whomever is coming in, right? Because then they have to pay the $10 and they have one round to try and be in the top 14 across both days, right? Which is next to impossible unless you win that race. And then for that reason, like, you know, knowing that there are no drop rounds, right? You can miss a round, you just get 0 points. Knowing that, you know, you tend to get the vast majority of drivers being super committed, right? Mm-hmm. They know that, you know, they got to be here, they got to participate if they want to win, if they want to make that final and get their money back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
how many rounds is there?
There's a pre-qualifying round, which is on the 26th and 27th of September, so that's a Friday and Saturday. And then there's 3 racing rounds, right? So between pre-qualifying and the end of round 3, you're gathering points. And then that final on November 15th takes the top 14 across both days per division for their respective divisions final. So that could be 7 from Friday, 7 from Saturday. It could be 6 and 8. It could be 10 and 4. Okay. It just depends on how many points you get in those rounds.
Okay.
So you better do well.
Now, here's my other one. Another question would be, with the pre-qualifying, how many people actually are in the pool? Like, compared to who actually gets to enter?
I think for last season there were 62 drivers who were trying to qualify for 56 spots.
Okay.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then the season before, I think it was 64 trying to get to 56 spots. So
now, what would happen if you all of a sudden start getting like 90 people for those 50 spots? Are you is there another slot in the works, anything like that for size of the league?
Yeah, so at the end of each season, I put out a feedback form, and I ask a couple questions, and I seek some feedback from not only the drivers, just anybody who's watching, anybody who's a part of the community, right? And I did put the question, like, do you guys want a Division C? And overwhelmingly, the community said no. So I took the feedback. I was like, okay, well, at least for this season, there won't be a third division, right? If we were to implement that in the future, say we do get 90 something people that want to participate, which would be awesome. We'd have to figure out a way to have an alternate broadcast or have it happen at a different time of day, right? Which is, something that is challenging, but like it's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was wondering. Like with as you get bigger and more popular, not that you're already not popular, but like growth, and what is long-term goals for you really with the league?
Man, that's a good question, and it's a difficult one. Like I would love for there to be 100 people who try to participate and join the league and whatnot. But there's also like the realism of my life outside of Gran Turismo 7 and my commitment to my family, my kids, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
and, yeah.
I mean, Mike. I have participated, and Mike has participated in leagues that have ended up. Well, I've participated in a league that ended up shutting down because the owner had a life beyond Gran Turismo and just couldn't keep a hold of it anymore.
Right.
So I know how that is.
I will tell you guys. So in that same vein, right? I've put in a lot of work over the summer to try and offload myself, right? So starting with like season 3, like we really beefed up the staff, right? I was like, okay, I need help. I can't steward. I can't
you can't
be
do
the
it all
only
yourself.
communicator. I can't do all that kind of stuff by myself, right? So we've brought in staff to help, offload that. So we have a good team of producers who will communicate. We have mods in our old Discord who will answer questions, and the experienced drivers are generally good about answering questions, even if I don't have time to open up Discord at that moment and answer everything. And then I've also, on the technology side, right? A lot of leagues I know right now, like you'll see an admin on that Discord, send out a message and, give instructions and all that kind of stuff, right? But I've put some time into creating a bot that helps with a lot of that functionality, and we've beefed up the Discord. We've added calendars so you can sync a Google Calendar to your own personal calendar, so when everything is going to be, right? So I don't have to keep saying, right, like, hey, join this meeting at this time, right? We have bots, we have technology, we have all this kind of stuff in there. And then as far as information, like tabulating information, right? So the hosts so anybody can see, hey, what's going on with this driver, what's happening here, what's going on with this race. The website now, even if you don't even register for the website, you can go to McNaughty.gg right now and look at every race and see every result that has ever happened in NRL right now. So you could look at, I don't know,
season 3, race 2.
Exactly. You can look at that, and there's a link to it. You can click the link. You can watch that stream, see how it unfolded. You can see anyone who is penalized. And now, from this point on, right, it will automatically be updated on the night of the race, and you will be able to see all that historical stuff.
Wow,
so,
dude, that's awesome.
That's one less thing I have to do, right? I invested the time to make sure that those tasks I don't have to do.
Yeah.
So as far as the league itself, right? As long as people want to do it, it'll be here.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think you got a good thing going. And two, like you said, each season comes, you start thinking about the next and things you could change and beef up, and you got more staff, so take more load off of you and streamline stuff. And dude, you're doing it smart and you're doing great, because I see this thing, keep growing, and definitely in the future you're gonna have those people. But I like it too that you only do have 56 spots, and not every Tom, Dick, and Harry is gonna make it. You gotta qualify. No. You gotta be good enough to make it in.
And
it's
I
not
think
just a given.
And I think doing it slow and taking your time is the correct way to do it. And again, I think I don't mind, again, the small amount of people that are able to get into the league. I think that makes it special.
More quality.
Mm-hmm. And you do end up with more quality drivers.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll make the guy that didn't qualify, this season work that much harder to qualify next season. So,
yeah, I'm telling you. So you guys had Slow-Mo on last week, right? And and I think he was telling you about his brother Angry Fredbird, right?
Yep.
And I think if I recall correctly, he was one of those who got either he didn't get in or he just barely got in and he finished like super far behind everybody else, right? And then like he's like, no, next season, no, we're going ham.
Yeah.
So he practiced stuff. He got himself some new gear. He started, really rapidly improving. And he's not the only one who's in that situation, right? And you see people. They're like, oh no, I'm not letting that happen to me again, and they come back a completely new driver for the next season.
See, that's amazing. That's
that's
a true testament of how good this league is.
That's a great league, and it's a good league. It sounds for drivers to make improvements in.
Yeah,
make improvements.
It's a motivation. That's great.
Yeah, it brings out your competitive nature and
good competitive nature, not assholes.
With the motivation to get better, what people get from your league, with the structure of like A and B, like, can you explain a little bit to, like, for me and maybe people else out there that don't know, like, what's the differentiate? Is it just because of pre-qualifying times where you fill the spots, and what is the incentive differences for like A and B for winning? Right.
So just the way it initially was, right? We set up A and B, and we're like, listen, A, we're gonna say it's like super hardcore, harder races, super challenging, and then Division B should be a little bit easier if you want something, a little bit more relaxed, right? So the first time we did it, we opened it up to everybody, and we were like, hey, you pick your division, right? So we got a bunch of people who were like, yeah, no, I'm Division A. So we ended up running like each round 2 splits of Division A and 1 split of Division B. And then you quickly found out that there were some people who elected to join Division A that maybe should have chosen Division B instead, and vice versa. There were some people in Division B who were like just running away with it because they're, they're like, I don't know about Division A, but they really should have been there. Right. So then the way it works now is the pre-qualifying time does set which division you're going to be in. So it's respective today, right? So if you pre-qualify on Friday, you're competing against everybody else in Friday, and the top 14 times, will be in Division A. The next 14 will be in Division B, with one caveat to that, and that is pre-qualifiers from automatic pre-qualifiers from last season. So we'll just look at Division A, for example, right? So Division A, the top 3 finishers in the Division A final from Season 5 automatically are in Division A for Season 6.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. The top 3 point getters, right? Because the final doesn't offer any points. So you can call it the regular season, but, the top 3 point getters in Division A also qualify for Division A automatically. And the way that it works out this season, there are 4 people, right? Because there are 3 podium finishers in the final, obviously, and then 2 of those people also were the top point getters. So, it could be up to 6, but this time around it's 4, and then the rest of the 10 spots in Season 6 Division A go to the fastest qualifiers. It's a similar story for Division B, except Division B, the people who I just mentioned, the podium finishers, the point getters, right? They're just guaranteed to be in the league, right? So they could be Division A, Division B, but they won't be eliminated. So there's incentive to doing well because it makes you, quote unquote, safe for the next season.
They get the free pass. The free pass. Yeah.
Right.
Now, what about you were talking about
they still have to participate, though. I should mention that they have to participate in pre-qualifying to get that benefit, and there are points given in pre-qualifying as well.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So, but if let's say a Division B person that gets the pass does absolutely horrible in pre-qualifying, they still get it. They just have to
make
be
it to
there
round 1.
to do it. They still just have to do it, show up and do
Right. But there's incentive, right? There's incentive to doing well because the top third of qualifiers on your day, right? The top third get 5 points, the middle third get 3 points, the bottom third get 0. But, so you don't want to give up those points because those points could be the difference. Like literally, there were people who did not make the final based on the 7th tiebreaker.
Wow.
So,
Oh my gosh.
you want to get all the points you can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
wild.
Counts.
How realistically with the all the spots and say pre-qualifying times, how close is it from like first to like the end of B kind of thing, like slot B kind of like in general, like all the times? Is it a pretty tight competitive, like you could be anywhere from B to A depending on your lap and how bad, you know what I mean, kind of thing? Did
I would say
a small mistake cost you from A to B? That tight kind of thing, or is it seconds?
No. Well, the difference between A and B is that it's very tight, super tight.
Yeah.
And so the gap between top of A and the last guy to make A is usually like a second or less.
Wow.
The difference between top of A and not making the league is maybe between 2 and 3 seconds. But generally the competition is like pretty tight, especially to get in Division A.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, though. So there is a little bit of leeway, though. So it's not like you have to be an alien.
Yeah, no.
That's what I mean. Like it's A to B is like half a second to qualify for the league. Like it's super tight. Like so that makes it a little bit more, in my opinion. Like, yeah, that's something I could do. Kind of thing. There, I don't have to be an alien to win A necessarily, kind of thing. But I can still compete at a very competitive level throughout the whole thing because of the time spread of sorts. So
yes, and even with that, so let's say an alien does join, right? Because we've had Hawko in the league. Right?
Instantly Hawko.
So like
we've had Hawko.
So it's not like it's like, oh man, Hawko's here. Like I'm not going to do anything. Like you may not win the league outright, but like if you come in second place, that's still 6 times, 7 times the amount of money you put in, right? Yeah. So a lot of guys, they join the league and they're like, okay, well my aspiration isn't necessarily to just win the whole league. It would be to make the final or to get a top 5 or to get a podium or just to make it into the league, right? Yeah. So everyone has their individual goals, and that evolves and changes as seasons go on, right? Then you set the bar higher for yourself. So it's all about like continual improvement in my eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I get not to say just about the money, but with the money being involved, having to buy in, pay for your spot, and the other prize money available, it does give some more incentive to that. Oh, Hawko's in this, but why even bother? Because there's something else there. It's not just you won the league and thanks for coming out and we'll see you next year. There is prize money. You get your money back if you do well enough, at least. Like there is, like you said, those incentive steps. So I think that's great. Yeah.
It wasn't always this way at first, right? We make improvements like every season, right? We take the feedback, there's some things, and like there, even for this season, right? I got some feedback from one of the drivers about some of these tiebreakers, and I was like, oh yeah, I like that idea. It's a little late for season 6, but like there are changes that I'm already thinking about for season 7 that like can take it up like another notch, another step, right? So like it's the pursuit of perfection, knowing that you'll never get to perfect, but you'll make the right strides, right? And then hopefully the community sees that, the drivers see that, everybody who's listening in right now and who may be tuning in come later this month, you'll see and hopefully appreciate the work that not just me, that all of us in the community have done for this project of NRL.
Yeah, it's
great. I think it is really great. I mean, I might be participating a little bit, but not on the driving side. Just in case people want to listen in. If you need me to help out with broadcasting or commentary, I am totally willing to do that.
Yeah, so we gotta get you loaded up. We gotta get you loaded up in there though. So, we'll get you the right links so you can get the right roles and all that kind of stuff, and be a part of that conversation. But yeah, we got some plans for you, Jimbo.
Oh,
boy.
yeah. I'm excited
boy.
for that.
How do you guys take in with lobby racing? Sometimes there's a lot of spike lagging going on.
yeah.
How do you take that into consideration for if there's an incident where the lobby isn't as strong, kind of deal?
Yeah. So what we end up having all of our drivers do, right, is firstly, a driver will save their own replay, right? So if they submit an incident ticket, they should be able to provide their own perspective of the incident, right? And then you also have, recording gameplay footage, right? So if you're not able to get like a qualifying replay, for example, right? Because we have a race after the qualifying session, you could save your personal gameplay. So every driver, is expected to do that. So that way, if they need to open an incident or an incident is opened against them, the stewards can have multiple points of view. And on top of that, there's my point of view hosting the lobby, right? Mm-hmm. The nice thing about, where I live in New Jersey, we have fiber internet available, right? So, I have 1 gig up, 1 gig down. So generally speaking, unless we've even had like Australians and New Zealanders, and, from my perspective, it hasn't looked that bad, and we haven't had too many incidents, despite people being literally on the other side of the world in these lobbies. So, but yeah, we have those things in place, so that way the stewards can look at it from multiple angles and make a determination as to whether it's more netcode or more malicious, or just a driving error or something like that.
Okay.
Cool. Quite a question about that, like the lags and stuff like that. With the game replay, does it always show like your connection, like if there is a lag, or does it just show the actual, like what the game kind of puts as the replay, as opposed to the actual game recording, like from the PlayStation? You know what I mean? Like, will that replay necessarily show that sketchiness, like car bouncing around kind of thing on the lag, or does it just show the replay of the car driving?
So I think that the way that Gran Turismo 7 replays work is kind of like the same way that like games like Super Smash Brothers, for example, those replays work, right? Where it's not actually like the data is not actually saving like all of like the graphics and whatnot. It's saving inputs, right? Mm-hmm. So it recreates the inputs that you perceived from your end, right? So from that perspective, if you watch a replay that you saved of a race, it should mirror exactly what you experienced, but it won't tell you what the ping was, right? It won't tell you that they had three yellow bars or like 5 green bars or all that kind of stuff. But capturing the gameplay footage would, obviously, because it's just reenacting what was literally shown on your screen while you were racing. So
now, is there a difference between replays? So you know how sometimes somebody has a really piss poor connection, but nothing's really happening on their screen. But I'm following this person, and they're back and forth across the track, like the bouncing around lag kind of we get in dailies. Is there a difference in replays as well, or is it just?
Yeah, so if you're from your perspective, like if I was the guy who was like bouncing around all over the track, your replay would show that. My replay might not. My replay would show my car being completely smooth because it's from my perspective. So that's why we have the third perspective, right, which is the lobby host, or the perspectives of anybody else who's in there, right? So you get as much information as you can to make a determination as to what's actually happening. And it's not perfect, but it's what we found the best compromise in that space.
Yeah, it's hard being having stewarded in a in a league, when it comes to net code, man, it can, especially dealing with people from, like, we had a guy from Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the host didn't have the best connection, so you would have rubber banding of everybody all the time. And then you had people that looked like they were cheating because of netcode. Mm-hmm. You know, their car just seemed like it was out of control fast.
Yeah, and that's like really key, like to have, because you know, if my understanding is correct, right? Like the lobby host is central, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that person, more than anybody else, needs to have a rock solid connection, right? Yep. Because if that person who is running the lobby is lagging, everybody's going to be lagging.
Yep.
So, you know, from my perspective, I was like, all right, well, I got that covered, right? I got the fastest, well, not the fastest, almost the fastest internet you can get in the United States. So, you know, latency wise, bandwidth wise, you know, I'm able to host these lobbies and also stream a broadcast, right, to YouTube, all on the same connection with almost no hiccups, right? As far as I know, like no drivers come to me and said, "Oh, the lobby was like terrible," right? And we've had people, you know, all over the world. So, you know, fortunately, we came out good on that.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's just as good or as better as the daily race watching when you're streaming and stuff like that, like the connection wise. So I've never really seen
it's really
a problem
good.
myself.
And to go to dailies, it seems like their lobbies have been kind of
taking
a shit
or two. Yeah. Every race you'll kind of have like a little issue.
I literally had a race Friday night. Friday night I had a race where 3 of the guys were slowing down and speeding up. They were all over the place. It was bad. It was really, really bad.
I had a race that went from 15th to 1st because everybody fucking crashed off the course on my screen. I had no idea where everybody was, and I did that for 2 laps, and all of a sudden people started slowly popping up in front of me, and I was back in 15th.
What?
Because I was going through, because I knew that they were still there.
Yeah.
I knew they were still there, but I just
couldn't see them.
Oh,
we lost Mike.
There goes Mike.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's something going on with their servers lately.
He's back. Yeah, there's got to be, because I had the same thing.
There is, because Tishni's been talking about it too. So, yeah, there's something happening, and it's too bad. It's really, really too bad. Pimp your, or I should say, sell your league to us, and sell yourself to the people that are listening.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't claim to be the best salesman, but I think the product speaks for itself. Over the course of 6 seasons, we've managed to get in over 100 unique drivers who've participated in this league as drivers, and then we've added more people to the staff who've just genuinely been fans of the channel and the league itself, right? The product is out there on YouTube. We started from humble beginnings. We've grown, and we've been able to raise money for the community, the NRL community, right? It kind of feeds back into each other, right? So you as a participant, there's a benefit for you, multiple benefits for you, right? And then, I'll speak honestly, there's a benefit for me. It's just that the benefits that I get aren't financial, right?
Right.
So you have a financial benefit. If you are a content creator, you have a reach benefit, right? And you have just as a driver or a Gran Turismo enthusiast, you have a community that brings together several different teams: PDX, PHG, S7R, NVR, FFR, you Code Instinct, right? HRA, right? Like all these teams names, the VIP is new in there, right? Left Lane. And all these communities come together, right, to participate in a truly unique event that I haven't seen anyone at all try to do. And if there are people who are mimicking this format, they're not doing it as successfully as us on every front. So, again, I like to try and stay as humble as possible. I don't like to pat my own back. And it's not just me who's behind this, but I will say that in terms of the true potential of everything within this game, NRL is the top, the crown jewel, if you will.
I agree.
I agree.
And
Yeah, I
the
think
gold
so.
standard.
I have to ask, and I say that too, because that's why I was asking where long term you see this, because I see this this could
Jimbo, your
become
alarm.
really huge for you. Like
Yeah.
it could be one of those things that be like spirals into like an official racing league, like esport league, that you end up with hundreds of, like, you have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
like a live event
cycle,
almost.
that kind of thing.
Like
dude.
you're touring
Because
the U.S. and you got little live events.
Yeah, because you guys have it set up really well. Honestly, that's why I was
Very
asking that
professional.
earlier, because it could go somewhere. It really could.
I think so.
Well, you're not the first who has said that, and I personally try to play down the expectations. I don't want to set myself up for like any kind of disappointment, but yeah, I've heard that, and each of you who have mentioned that to me, I'm thankful that you guys see the potential in the league, right? And maybe one day that will happen. Maybe we will do
you never know.
actual stops. Maybe Kaz will call me back and cease and desist, man.
Right.
You're infringing on our GTWS.
Exactly. Because when you're doing it slowly and smartly, you're taking the small steps, you're getting the feedback, you're just developing it around what the sim racing community wants, not what you want to do to make yourself big and just blow it. And you have like some other leagues that have like 6 and 8 splits, but they're out of control, and there's bad driving where you're slowly building. Like, you guys want 3 splits? No. Okay, well, let's keep it to, maybe we go, everybody's like, okay, yeah, we need a third split now. Maybe it's Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, so it's 3 A's and 3 B's instead of a third split, kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, no, you got it.
So, on that whole thing about like getting big and growing a channel, like, I'll keep it a buck for you guys. I'll keep it 100, right? And tell you that, like, yeah, would I want my channel to succeed? Absolutely. I think, anybody who's in this space, wants to grow their community. But, like, I think what's key and what's important in all of that is that you do it the right way, right?
Yeah.
You realize that there are peers of yours, right, who want the same thing, right? And you can't be selfish with it. You have to grow together, right?
Yeah.
So, if this grows and this becomes big, what I want for everybody else who's, a part of it is for them to grow as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm not on this journey by myself. We're on this journey together, and if this gets big, I'm not going to be in a vacuum. You guys are going to be still able to reach me the same way. I'm not going to get Hollywood on anybody, right? And that's a huge if. Right?
He says that now.
All of a sudden, you can't reach me.
Yeah, he's become millionaire. He's super big. He's like, I don't know, Petey who?
Who the fuck?
DG what?
But yeah. One thing that I did have planned, right? And forgive me because I didn't mention it to Sean ahead of time, was that as a treat for your listeners, if they want to know what the pre-qualifying combo is, they can find out here first.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
An exclusive.
Would you like to know?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
NRL
Drum roll.
Okay. All right. So, for NRL Season 6 pre-qualifying, these are the cars and the track that you're going to use. One car, one track. It is going to be the Group 3 BRZ GT300 2021 car at Barcelona, Catalunya, no chicane layout, a 20-minute qualifier with 3 times tire wear, 3 times fuel consumption, and an initial fuel load of 30 liters.
Tires?
Tires, racing softs.
Okay.
Excellent.
Ooh, I
Excellent.
like that. I like that.
So I already know a couple of our listeners out there that are going to have the leg up on the competition now. So good luck to y'all.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, right? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna from previous streams you had one of the developers from Gran Turismo. Is he still active in your community, and do you still kind of interact with him?
I haven't heard from Evo in a while, and to be fair, like I don't have like a permanent contact with him. Like I don't have his email or his Discord or anything like that.
Okay.
I think he's just hopped into streams here and there, and I don't know. It's the same way with Simon, right? Like Simon, obviously he's a World Tour driver now, and he's been in the channel and whatnot. And I think like for me, like I don't want to, not that anybody else does this, right? But like I don't want to feel like anybody owes me anything, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like super paranoid of that about that. And I know that may not be what I give off, but like, I was like, all right, well, if Evo comes back, right, that would be great. I would love it. If he doesn't, I understand.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's
Totally
a good way to look at it too.
Yeah. Big time.
Whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got a quick question for you.
Sure.
How do you feel the state of play of Gran Turismo 7 is right now? It's a question we ask all of our guests. You're a really good one to ask because you're on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that there are a lot of quality of life improvements that they haven't made. And I keep seeing ones that pop up like in the Gran Turismo 7 like Reddit. I mean, like literally this morning I'm like looking at one. They're like, "Hey, I have an engine that can be swapped, but I don't know what cars can take it. Like I just won this thing. Where do I put it?" And somebody else on Reddit had to create a spreadsheet saying, "Oh, if you have this engine, you can put it in these cars." Like little things like that that like should be obvious.
Yeah, that engine should be marked with what cars it will fit in.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely one of those things that has pissed me off in the past too.
Right. And I think the BOP for Group 4 is still a little bit unbalanced. But I will say that my opinion might be different here than a lot of people, but like I generally think like in Group 3, yes, cars have become more balanced, but I think they've become too easy to drive. And we're almost back to the days where like on corner exits you can just smash the throttle and be all right. Like that one update that happened like I don't know how many months ago. We were at Spa that one week and like everybody was using the Supra and you had to really on corner exit you really had to like ease into the accelerator, the throttle. And like I thought that was peak. I was like, listen, this really separates the men from the boys, so to speak, right? Like if you're gonna go into this and think like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna slam and just do whatever, like no, you need actual skill to get like pace out of the car now. And then they got rid of it. I don't know why.
Because it's too hard. Most of the players are fucking B. I should say D, C, and B drivers. That's why.
Right.
Yeah, they were crying about it. Couldn't drive.
Oh my gosh! Here's something funny. I was in my third account.
You're a little robot.
Yeah. Oh, am I? Oh, I apologize. I don't know how to fix that.
There you go.
So I'm in my third account, secret driving, in a B lobby. It's amazing how many people are still there that I raced with in sport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just a skill set level. Again, some people they're just That's their skill set.
Winobi has been in there since I started in, 5 years ago. And I'm like, do people not value? They just, I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, we don't understand either because you're pixelated there. But I could have missed the opportunity. But I get the gist of what you're saying, and I think you guys had mentioned before that they should create different types of modes for different people, or maybe even different games for different enthusiasts. And I think if all we need to do is just change the physics, a little bit, because they've done it, they changed it back. Well, I mean, you could put on I don't know, some kind of toggle. Do something where those of us who want as close to the real thing as possible, or a little bit more realistic skill curve, we should be able to have that too. Right, we should, and people who want to be more casual should have that as well.
Yeah,
they already have it built into the game, something like that. But all they have to do is implement maybe some of the physics settings and stuff like that, where you have the beginner, intermediate, professional in the single player. You know what I mean? Those skill levels, or with the driving aid set up when you start the game. What do you want to be? A beginner, intermediate, or professional? And it gives you those settings. So throw it in like that. Do you want to be professional? This shit's going to be scary,
Heavy
but
damn.
here you go. It's not going to change the, basically it's like, if you want to be fastest, you want the professional, because you're going to have those challenging physics of the game. Or you could be a little slower and have it so you can get on the gas easy, but the cars are going to be slower because you got to balance it out somehow. You know what I mean? So the BOP would be a little more complex, but you could be physics based levels, and then it's just your car will be easier to control, but that guy is going to be sliding around a bit more, but he'll be faster than you.
Right.
Kind of thing.
And then as far as also in the state of play, selfish requests. But I think a lot of people would like this, right? Especially for Gran Turismo 8, if that's really coming soon. Have the lobby sizes be bigger. Right?
24
and move towards what we see in other sims where you have driver swaps implemented. You have true endurance racing.
That would be
and
dope.
Right?
Yeah.
Because selfishly, it would be a lot easier to manage NRL if we could have larger lobbies.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have to do a little thing, right? We could just have everybody together. Oh, there's 50 of you that want to participate. All right, all 50 of you hop in this lobby.
Yeah.
So
You could almost do a true multi-class with the A's and B's and have the GT3 or GT4s and
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing is that you look at the state of the games themselves and the technology. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that our technology isn't gotten advanced enough that we can't have more than 20 people in a freaking lobby.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're not even getting that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, for daily races in sport, didn't we have 20?
Yeah, we did for a while. They tried it with 7 for a bit, I believe, and then it was cut out right away.
And I think right
at the beginning,
PS4.
It's probably why
they gotta standardize that. So if this thing is going to be on PS6, it's got to be just PS6.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll buy a PS6 for it.
Yep.
But then also they've put so much effort into Sophie AI, training it, getting it to the level where if it's turned up all the way, it can challenge and beat World Tour drivers, right? Mm-hmm. That same effort needs to be put into this penalty system. I know, we
100%.
all talk about it, how the penalty system is bad, but you can't tell me that with AI the way it is, where you can literally, you can almost do anything you want now.
You can.
With AI.
Yeah.
You can.
That you can't, train it to, look at data and determine what a good or bad penalty or, who's at fault. You got to be able to do that. That's got to be.
I think they're working on that for GT8. I think the PS6 is supposed to be AI heavy. So
you gotta think about the AI Sophie, and when they crank it up, how good it actually is. When it first came out, it was almost unbeatable on when they brought it out. They had to dial that back. And the stuff online showing like with the tour drivers having a hard time with it shows the potential of what AI can do for the game. Now, you've already trained it to be that good, so it knows how to drive. Maybe not on track yet, but it knows how to drive. So it knows.
Have Sophie.
Yeah, but it also but you don't need it. You just need to know the standards. It knows what to do. So when it can it's reading data. So why isn't it given data of races, like in building like penalty system on? You're not supposed to do that. That was bad of you. This was bad of you. I got to slow down here. It knows how to drive and avoid cars, right? So it can easily determine the penalty system based off what it was taught not to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
so
implementing Sophie, right? The PS4 can't do it because it doesn't have enough processing power, right? Because to actually drive around, you have to look at the environment every frame and then make a decision on what to toggle with the inputs, and that takes up a lot of space. But in terms of they do a lot of training using servers elsewhere, but then when they come up with the model, right, for penalties, they don't need to look at every frame. They just need to look at the content of the collision and the immediate aftermath, and then apply it to the model. And we look at replays We look at replays right now. Just we can set a key frame and then we can look at a replay and in race, right? So if we can do that on PS5 and PS4, so that then the penalty system should be able to do that in the background and then just analyze it.
Exactly that. That's what I was thinking. Is you just have to teach it to read and develop the script that is the penalty system we have now, but alter it to know that, hey, this guy just crashed, came off the course, and then sideswiped this guy. Don't give that guy that was on the track the penalty like it does right now. They give it to that guy that just came flying off for the grass into everybody and causing a commotion kind of thing. The Sophie would be able to develop the script to realize that, where it does, whatever they have written it now, it doesn't realize what's happening, and it's giving it the wrong penalties or no penalties. That's basically what happens now. Is you get no penalty or it goes to the wrong person.
Yeah.
And Sophie AI could be able to go through there, and it's smart enough to know that, hey, that's not right. This is right. This is right. Okay, now if this happens again, this guy gets the penalty. This guy gets the penalty. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it can write that in, and it doesn't need to be on Sophie on PS4 or PS5. It's just the actual scripting into the game by it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
the technology's there.
Yeah, GTA 8. I think it's going to be there. I think they're probably working on it now.
There's holding.
Yeah.
GT7, in my opinion, is just at a holding period until that comes out.
Get it to where it's good enough so they can solely concentrate on GT8. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
quick
I think
question.
most of their effort is into GT8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Quick question for you now. VR.
Yeah. About that.
You get sick, don't you?
Yeah, my motion sickness has gotten worse over the years. I took my older son to Sesame Place. He's a big Sesame Street fan. So we drove over to Pennsylvania to Sesame Place, and we went on one of these kiddie roller coasters. They don't go loopy loops or anything like that. Right? They're made for kids. They're children, right? So we get on this roller coaster together. I kid you not, I needed to sit for 5 minutes after that.
Wow.
Okay,
I didn't take a Dramamine. I was like, look at this little dinky coaster. Barely looks like it's moving, and
Kills
I felt terrible. So, as much as I want to, I'm the edge case, man. I don't think I can do it.
You have,
Do
though,
you
right?
ride in the back of a car, in the back seat? Do you get motion sickness, or do you have to sit in the front?
Not only do I have to sit in the front,
he has to drive.
I drive 95% of the time. I have to drive.
My wife is like
that.
that.
So you can't get on
driving, she gets sick.
You can't get on a boat because it moves back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and
I know a lot of people get seasickness.
Up and down.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Plane sickness.
So if I take
up and down.
If I take a Dramamine, it will work, but after it wears off, the next day, I won't physically get sick, but if I stand still,
you feel like
it will feel like I'm still rocking back and forth. It's just
I take
I don't know,
I
I
have
just got
patches I
unlucky.
use. You put behind your ear, and they actually work pretty good. I was surprised because I have to wear them when I get on a plane, and it's weird because on a plane I get sick. Driving I don't get sick, and roller coasters and stuff. Maybe the first time I'll feel a little woozy, but after that I get on again and I'm fine. It's weird.
See, I only get sick on planes if they're like making like consecutive turns, right?
Oh,
Like just the
okay.
takeoff and the landing is like totally fine for me. But like, especially at Newark Airport, which is my home airport, Newark, New Jersey. And like sometimes with Newark sucks, by the way. And
You got a
when you
circle.
land in Newark, you have to like turn like 5 different times to like line yourself up depending on where you're coming from, right? And that's when I lose it. I'm like, oh my God, if we turn again, like just line this thing up and just land it, please.
Right? I hate that. Ugh.
Yeah.
It is the
I'm
worst.
so thankful I don't have to go through any of that.
Oh, it's the worst.
I am so
I know
thankful.
it's the weirdest thing because I don't understand it either. Like I don't get motion sickness.
Oh.
Neither do I.
And it's like the smallest
So
little
jealous.
movements too. That can
Yeah.
just set you off. It's just fucking. And but then some things, dude, I could be in a fucking car hauling ass and doing that, and I don't get sick.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would like to just put it on and let's just not move the car.
Right.
And just put it on and just look around, just so at least I get that. But like, you know, I don't have anybody near me who has one that I could just like put it on.
Yeah,
and be like,
try
all
it,
right,
yeah.
I got the experience.
Right.
So we've got Daniel from My Pet Stickers, who's a friend of ours, and he stopped into my place and was like, "Ooh, I'd love to try your VR." Oh boy. He is a commercial pilot. He does this all the time. He flies. He does all this crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
He gets in. I put him on the Nordschleife, and oh boy,
Oh, you had to do some
got
cleanup.
no,
Oh,
thank God. But it was close. He was sweating.
Oh,
Oh boy,
that's
it was.
when you get to start sweating and your mouth starts
Oh,
watering,
boy.
and you're just like, okay, I got about 5
Yeah.
seconds before I hurl.
Yeah, he was fine until he had a spin.
Oh,
And
you gotta
that's-
close your eyes. You
yeah,
gotta close-
That
yeah.
spin. Oh boy, he's
I
like,
know.
oh, I'm not feeling good. It took him like an hour to recover.
Oh,
Recommendations, people, if you are thinking of getting VR, go into a slow car, a K car, or just something with like 50 horsepower and go on a small track that's
Yep.
fairly level, not with a lot of elevation. And just do that for a couple laps, then take a break, come back, do it again, and
Work
just
at it.
slowly
yeah,
work your
slow.
way
Yep.
up. But just take it slow again, especially
Because it literally
if you,
is like
suffer
driving
from
a
any
car. Like
motion
literally.
sickness. Take it very, very slow.
I think my first time I jumped in the fucking Group 3 Porsche and went on the Northside and just went to town.
Woo!
I was like, this is fucking amazing!
Yes. It
I had a
is.
little nausea for
Drive
I like that little bit of a woo kind of in my stomach for a corner or two, but after that it went away. And they were just like nonstop since then.
Nice.
I'm so lucky. Because I hopped in. The first thing I did was hop in a Porsche and drive the fucking Eau Rouge Radeon. Like immediately went to Spa and was like, I want to see how it is. Second one was going on to the Nordschleife because I had to see how good it was.
Yeah.
A little bit of my stomach was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, those dips get you at first for sure.
But
Huge elevation changes at first got me.
Yes.
Yeah. My stomach would drop.
but after that, dude, it was just like no problem.
Yeah, once
I
your
would
brain
say-
realizes it's a
Get
game.
used to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because each time I would get in, it would take my brain a little bit of time to adjust, but that just got easier and easier and easier. So it was pretty.
Just practice.
Yep,
Dude, it is such a game changer.
it is. I love it. Can't stop.
No.
Can't stop, won't
No.
stop.
I won't do any racing game. It's not VR.
Right.
Yes. So I was at the expo last week, and everything is all friggin' flat screen. So
Like, what the
I'm
hell?
jumping on a new rig, never the pedals, everything, and doing. Oh God, it was like I never had seen a sim rig in my life. It was just like kind of all over the place, kind of deal. But yeah, if you are on the fence of getting VR, highly recommend it. It really is a game changer.
Yeah.
And with that said, maybe we should get into Coach Mike's corner, go over this week's dailies, what we thought about them, some of the time trials that are now present, and we can wrap this baby up.
This baby up. Right, here we go. Old school, baby. Woo! Yeah.
Oh, what? Coach Mike!
Back.
Yeah. So I gotta say it was back to the usual below par for course for PD on the races. They weren't horrible, but they weren't nothing to write home about. We had the Viper SRT at High Speed Ring, Road Car Sports Soft.
For A, yeah.
For A, 7
And
laps.
initially,
Wasn't that
It
broken?
was supposed to be rain. Yeah, there was rain.
well,
and
it was
everything
raining,
there.
and then they stopped it. They took it away.
Which
Oh.
I don't know necessarily
I thought there
why,
wasn't
other than
supposed
they
to be
thought,
rain, and rain was happening when it wasn't supposed to be.
Well, the carnage may be involved with it, but it turned out, from what I've seen, it was an absolute wreck fest of a race anyways, so
Yeah.
good job by them. And then we did Daily B was the Trail Mountain Reverse Course, yay, in Group 3 for only 4 laps,
Yeah,
which was,
yeah.
kind of and hard tires as well, so another below par kind of race, really.
It's not worth it.
No.
No.
4
4
laps,
laps,
yeah.
For me, yeah, it's not worth it. For
with
me.
the rolling
It's just
starts,
not enough time.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it takes you almost a lap to really get into, position to make moves, unless people are all over the place in front of you. But, and then 4 laps, you're not really doing anything, especially if you get bumped, just minor bump once or twice.
Dude,
you're done. So
I raced in my second account or my third account, and it was just, again, yes, we got to look at the people that are driving in it, but Jesus Christ, it was impossible to do anything because nobody knows how to drive.
yeah,
Like-
exactly. Race C though, which is just in my opinion, it's not great, but it's an average sort of race. I rather enjoyed this week. I'm gonna have to say we were at Laguna.
I thought it was great.
in the Group 4. I'm not a fan of Laguna racing. I don't mind driving it, but racing is just quality of drivers. It's not a fun race for me usually. But this week, I've been loving it. Interesting combination.
Tell them why. Tell them why we've been loving it. Because it's both you and I that have been loving it.
Well, just me personally, I've been loving it because I do Alpha 4C and stop right away basically and undercut everybody on the soft tires, and I just pass everybody. So yeah, you can safely stop in that if you multiple laps early. I was like lap 2 and 3. I was pitting and putting the softs on.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw some people pitting lap 1.
Jesus.
Your tires do wear. They're not horrible at the end
Right.
by any means. You still got some great pace. But just getting on them right away, you just pass everybody. It's insane. I spun out off the first corner starting in 16th. And instantly, I'm already 15, 20 seconds behind. I stuck with the strategy, and I ended up 6th place still.
Oh, nice.
Because there's a time difference,
Right.
2 seconds a lap.
Yeah.
If you can keep your tires under you, it's huge.
Yeah.
So
So I won 3 races from 16th.
Damn. Hell yeah.
And it literally is just because I pitted lap 3, and of course, in that I have another account that I started to help the kid I've been working with. So that's my super, super secret account because that's just a help him account. But let's be honest, it's just Hollis's account that I'm playing on. But So I've gotten that one up. So in my third account, I'm still keeping it a D, but I'm picking it up to a little bit higher D. But dude, it's just, I don't know. Everybody wants to race the McGann. Everybody
I love
wants
that
to.
car.
It's so much fun.
It is.
But
we don't get to use it much, so when it is the meta, I enjoy it.
I love the McGann. It's changed a little bit in its handling characteristics, or I've changed, but it's still a blast. Another one that kept up with the McGann, the Porsche Cayman.
Yeah. Yeah, Cyrus used that for his anti-meta.
In fact, the Cayman felt better than any of the other cars.
Wow.
For you.
It felt great. You could actually, the one thing with the McGann and the one thing with the 4C, especially the 4C, was it's really numb in the front end. Especially coming into braking points, you really have to feel it. The Porsche, not numb at all. You feel everything, but it was much harder on tires. So I was having to go to lap 5, 6 before I could change.
Yeah, a lot of people were pitting end of 7, end of 8 still.
Yep,
I was pitting at the end of 6 finally. Ended up doing that. I tried the car I wanted to work because numbers-wise it should have worked was the Sylvia. I tried to use that because it was up on power and only 100 pounds heavier than the McGann. So it should have been able to stick with it, but for some reason I just could not get that motherfucker to work.
What's funny is I raced in a couple of races with guys driving the Sylvia, and the Sylvia was fast.
Yeah.
It was really fast, but guys were having trouble with it.
I was.
And I don't know, was it tires or just handling or what?
I think it was a little both. Handling and a little bit of tires. It just wouldn't turn in as much. Like at first, when you first jump into it, you're like, oh shit, okay. This is going to work. But then after that, I was like, okay, I got to jump into the McGann and just see how it feels. Yeah, that fucker it turns. It turns.
Yeah, it does. Yep, the Porsche does too.
And that's what I ended up going in, after trying the Ferrari, the Sylvia, the 4C, which I did like the 4C, I just couldn't fucking get it to work. I was just slow as fuck.
Yeah, get the front end to load up.
So once I switched to the McGann, I started dropping times. I started doing better in races. So that's what I went with.
A car that I didn't get to test myself that I feel could have been all right because it's really good at turning is the Hurricane, the Lamborghini Group 4. And I was like, oh man, because my problem was like, I was like corner entry. I always suffer from understeer because I brake too late. And,
same.
I was like, I know the Hurricane, I can force it into an oversteer condition and get through a lot of those corners quickly. And then it's 404 horsepower before bop, so it can hang a little bit. I did the 4C and I was doing all right with that, and then I noticed that like even if I was in the slipstream coming out of the last corner, the McNaughty trophy, that car would just like take off, and I'm literally like 2 tenths behind it, and then at the end of the long straight, I'm like 4 tenths behind. I'm like, that's gonna make it tough. But yeah.
A lot of people were using the Corvette too.
There were a lot of
Crab
Corvettes.
Legs was using the Corvette.
Yeah, he used that all. I think that's his Group 4 car to use.
So I was in quite a few races with him.
But yeah, it was just nice. It wasn't an all-wheel drive fest.
Yeah, that's what I liked.
So.
Yeah, that was nice. That was very nice that's not what it was.
Yeah.
And next week's race, we're going to have Brands Hatch. So hopefully the McGann and some other cars will be viable there.
I think so.
The Viper.
Oh, man, I love the McGann at
I love
Brands Hatch.
Yeah.
Dude, that's where
I like Brands Hatch so much. And I think it's another one that Mike isn't a big fan of.
No, I don't mind Brands. I actually quite enjoy that one. I got very good there. And this week has definitely changed my mind with Laguna. I've done more races this week at Laguna than I have ever in my sim career. I'll say that. I avoided like the plague, but this week, for whatever reason, I was like, this could be good.
Yeah.
And I haven't stopped. I've been doing multiple races in one of my accounts every night. different type of cars, combos. I really couldn't get enough of it this week,
Right?
honestly.
Yeah,
The,
it
the
was good.
corkscrew in VR.
Oh, that, yeah.
Shoot,
And-
hope
Oh,
you make
it
it.
is.
So
It is
good.
the best.
I think that is why. I honestly think it's because of VR. I'm experiencing things that in a different way more and more that I've always avoided. And I'm just like, I don't care anymore. And it's amazing.
It is.
So
Yeah.
It's crazy the feeling you get when you drop off the edge.
Oh yeah. Because
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't see. Oh shit! There we go.
Yeah, you're
There
like
we go.
nothing. Yeah, it's like you're
Yeah.
dropping into
Oh,
nowhere
yeah.
land.
It's insane.
I go through the corkscrew. I turn in left, and I visualize that gap in the trees across.
Yep.
And I just
Shoot
I
down.
look straight at it. I put my foot down. I'm like, good luck, and I whoop down into the corner. I'm just like, half the time I get it, half the time I don't.
Yep.
And I'm just like, the other day I did that. I was like, as I did it, I was like, oh shit, wrong gap. Oh fuck, I'm on the wrong angle. I get right into the sand.
Oh man. I know
It's
that
so fun.
it was. I was kind of scared for the combo at first, just seeing it was because I'm not a big fan of Group 4, and I love Laguna. It was a good set of laps. The tire deg and the fuel were good, and I was like, all right, we'll go in this. And then I saw the meta, and I was like, it's a good car, but I don't want to use it. But then as I raced it more and got in them again, dude, I was having a blast last night. I was having
I
a
did
blast.
a couple of McGanns as well. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a very, very good race.
enjoyed
So,
it.
What?
do you think now? Do you want to announce what possibly are next week's races there, Mike?
I don't know.
I do. So
Yep.
race B is supposed to be Nürburgring, one lap though,
One
Group
lap.
3.
One
Fucking stupid.
lap.
Waste of time.
An 8-minute map race. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So a little odd there, but I'm assuming there's going to be some weather and everything, so it may end up being a 10-minute race. Who knows?
Yeah, but it's just
and
going to
then-
be a 10-minute desperation race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's
then,
just shit.
And then we're going Brands Hatch Group 4. So that was a little odd back-to-back race C in the Group 4s.
I wish they should
But-
do Miatas at Brands Hatch.
I still believe, and I'm going to call this out, we're having a Group 1 race soon.
I hope so.
I hope
it's not when I'm gone. Because I'm going to be pissed if it's when I'm gone.
If it's not this next week, it's going to be the week after.
When I'm gone.
Well,
Right,
you're going to be
AD
gone in Germany, right? That will be the German event.
Yeah, you're going to be gone.
Nations
You're
and-
going to be
Yeah.
gone to. Is this your Hawaii trip?
Yeah. Yep, coming up. Leave next Friday. Or this Friday. One of the Fridays. Sometime.
So
To
I
try.
believe-
One of these Fridays.
One of these. Sometime.
yeah, I do believe that there will be a Group 1 race in the next week or two, maybe 3 weeks, because they
I think 2
have
weeks.
done a slight BOP change. There's now a time trial event in Group 1. Every time they do stuff like this, it comes into the rotation, and just like the Group 2, I knew it was coming. They threw it in there on Suzuka. They have this weird cycle of they back and forth. Group 3, Group 4, Group 3, Group 4, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4.
Well,
Group
it's
1
weird too
kind of
because
thing. Like they have that kind of weird cycle. That
when you
hasn't
look at
happened
it, back at them, they follow certain series at certain times. It's weird. They pick and choose when they want to do it because when we had that Suzuka race, the Group 2s were at Suzuka literally that weekend before.
Yeah.
So then we
I don't
had
know.
that race. So he like picks and okay, let's have that combo. So yeah,
He loves Suzuka. It's
He
one of
does.
the most used tracks.
and it's weird because there's times where Formula One was somewhere, and I think that next week we had Super Formula at that track. I want to say it was like Spa or something at one point. So he does it for different series at different times. It's not consistent, but yeah, sometimes. So I always try and look. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they'll like this race because then we'll have that next week on our dailies. Because sometimes that'll happen. It's weird.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or
There
reason what
isn't.
Kaz does and doesn't do.
There
No,
isn't.
not at all.
And
What
on
would
that
you?
bombshell-
Well, that's
Oh,
a good one.
Yep.
I was going to say.
That is.
I was going to say, what would you like to see, Mr. McNaughty?
Sheesh. I don't know. You know, we just got Group 2, but it seems like Group 2 every time we have it is always at
Suzuka.
So I think it would be nice to have it somewhere else. Maybe
Detroit.
a Spa, maybe with
Daytona.
weather,
Detroit.
or Daytona.
Suzuka
Daytona
was
Road Course
fucking
always-
crazy.
Autopolis again.
Yeah, I
Daytona
like that.
Daytona Road Course always brings out everybody.
Dude.
It does.
that would be dope.
You
They
know,
need
it's
to
usually
do
Group
that.
3 there, but they everybody comes out for Daytona Road Course. So
Dude.
if you
Group
switch it
1?
up, throw Group 2 there.
Group 2
Oh my
there would
gosh.
be fucking
On it all
amazing.
week, all week.
Right?
Group 1 there would be
I
great.
love
Oh
Group
yeah,
two. I
even
love
Group
it.
1. I would
Yeah.
like to see
And
Super
then,
Formula at Laguna.
Oh, just like the license test.
Dude, that would be a wreck fest. That would
Oh,
be
man,
such
yeah.
a wreck fest.
Yeah,
That
they're
has
just.
to be like an A or something with no DR updates.
No,
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think that would be pretty cool, or just something with weather, man. I feel like
Yeah.
those are always the best weeks where we have one where you get into the lobby. It could be like clear, it could be full wet, and you don't know until you get there. I think
Yep.
that usually brings out a lot of people, and it's most exciting.
Kind of
for me,
evens the
so.
playing field a little bit more too. when you
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. So, fingers crossed on that. But if it's one lap Nürburgring, Nordschleife,
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll do it like
it's
once.
the ring, but yeah.
And if you don't like the dailies, there's quite a few of the online time trials going right
Yep,
now that
yeah.
are worth some money. They're very easy to do.
They look fun.
So get out there. There's a
They're
Group
good.
3 at Suzuka.
Yep.
There is the Porsche 962 at Le Mans No Chicane. And they still have up the Group 2 at Lego Major Full Course. So
And
you
that's
got
for that
some
Honda
time for
Esports.
those. Yep.
Yeah, I think
But
that
you still
goes all
get your
month.
millions. You still get your millions.
Let's-
worth the effort for the money.
Yeah.
Easy way
What
to
is
make
it?
millions.
The Clio. The Clio at Sardinia is
Yeah.
actually super. Is
Is it?
actually super easy.
You got
Yeah.
3 days. 3 days for that.
You got 3
Yeah.
days for that,
2
and
days.
it was
2 days.
literally two laps for
It's
me.
Monday.
Yeah. I'll leave that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 laps for me. Easy money.
Yeah, and people always put these things on YouTube. Fastest way to make money. Well,
Right.
you know what? This is the fastest way. You spend an hour, you could get all these done, and you'll have 4 million, 8 million. Yeah, $8 million you can get right there in an hour. You
Yeah,
can't
the
do
only
that
one.
in other stuff.
The only one that I've been having issues with, and it's just getting used to the car, is the Group 1.
Oh yeah.
And
I
I haven't watched Tijney's video yet, but I'm going to watch his video just so I can figure out, because I think it's having to do with shifting.
Yeah. Oh, big
Yeah,
time.
that's-
Yeah, you got to shift that
that's-
thing proper.
Yep, exactly. I think that's what's keeping me, because I'm only a couple of tenths off, but I just can't get it, and I think
Yeah.
it comes down to shifting. So,
I did
Yeah.
only a couple laps after watching that video, and I got the gold. I'm barely gold right now, but I
you
got
got
the
it.
gold right.
Fuck
so
yeah.
we'll see what happens. I'll
Fuck.
have to do it again probably because
Yeah.
it'll change.
Well, awesome.
Yeah, that's
well,
all.
On that
shit.
bombshell.
Yep, that's it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, McNaughty, for
Thank you,
joining us
McNaughty.
today, being part
Thank
of the
you guys
show.
for having
Favorite
me.
people.
we always
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes,
yes.
plug self plug for
Yep, do
NRL.
it. Hit it.
Get yourself signed up. There's a week left as of today, Monday, September 15th. There's a week left to sign up. You can go to McNaughty.gg/NRL for all the relevant information. And hope to see you guys on track.
Where can they find you on YouTube?
Oh, on YouTube, you can find me at youtube.com/@McNaughty. And I'll probably be
that's-
streaming later today.
MC Naughty.
MC.
So everybody go check him out.
McNaughty.
Yeah, check him
Like
out.
Like McLovin, only McNaughty. McNaughty. McNaughty loving.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
We love McNaughty.
We do.
We do.
Yeah, check
Thank
them
you.
out.
guys
All the
too.
races
Thank you
are
for
out.
having me
Cheers.
on.
Have a good one.
Yep, everyone have a good one. Oh, real quick, Project Motor Racing secured the license for IMSA, so that's actually going to help them out. But
Also,
Mhm.
NASCAR is coming out.
Oh,
iRacing
yeah.
on the 18th.
Oh shit.
So
Yep. So anybody that
South
gets
is
that,
18th.
in the comments down below, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're checking this out, if you got a spot to put comments. If you get
Dave.
NASCAR 25, let us know. Let us know how you like it and all that, because I will not be getting it. And just, yeah.
Until they get bigger trophies.
Yeah. Let me
Might be.
know. So, and then Max at the Nürburgring. Oh shit! Everybody, check that out. And we'll
Yep.
see you
Max at the Nürburgring.
next Monday. Hovercraft is our guest, so stay tuned.